Yo, what's going on, boys? It's Dan from DNR Sports. Today, I'm bringing you another tier list. We're going with all of the NFL teams. Let's just get right into it. We're going to start with the Julio Jones Titans now. Um, this tier list, as we see, based off of wins for this upcoming season. I'm going to try to predict this, so I'm not going to have it, super top heavy where every team is like 10 wins. I'm going to try to space it out so it's like pretty realistic. This is a video we'd like to come back at the end of the year and hopefully get about like 80% of this right. That'd be pretty nice. But anyways, we'll start off with the Tennessee Titans. With the addition of Julio Jones, this offense is disgusting. Obviously, the defense still remains pretty bad. They got Bud Dupree and Janoris Jenkins, but I don't think that changes too much for them. I think they go 11-6 probably this season. I might want to put them in 12 and 13 spot, but I think they get 11 or 10 wins. San Fran, this is my dark horse this year. Dark horse. Oh shit. My dark horse this year. I think obviously I had the video on them a couple weeks ago. If you guys want to check that out, but they had so many injuries: George Kittle, Jimmy Garoppolo, Nick Bosa, Sherman, Ayuk, Debo Samuel, Raheem Mostert, Jeff Wilson. Like the list goes on forever, pretty much with them. They're a great team. I just because of the division, I'll put them to 10 to 11, but I really want to put them 12 to 13 wins. Um, but that division's too tough with Seattle, Arizona, and the Rams. Vikings, I like the Vikings, man. I'm a Packers fan, but this offense is too good to just keep being a terrible record team. I think they pick it up this year. I'm not saying 8 and 9 is amazing or anything, but I do think Justin Jefferson, Thielen, and Cook are going to help lead this team. If that defense can get any sort of solid like they used to be, this team could be a 12 to 13 win team. They got the talent; they just need the defense to step it up. Ravens, this one's really tough, man. I want 12 or 11. Man, they got. Let me put them here for a sec. They got the defense. They got the run game. They got the coaching. I just don't know if they can keep up with the big games. They're going to be playing 4 games against the Steelers and the Browns. Even the Bengals are showing some promise this year. Bit of a hard schedule. They play, I think, the Packers division it is. Um, yeah, I'm gonna go with 11. I think they go 11-6. The division's just a little bit too hard for me to put them at 12. Sorry, Ravens fans. Bengals. 8 to 9 wins. I think Joe Burrow being back is going to be huge. Their offense is absolutely stacked on receiving core, and Joe Mixon's good running back. They just need O-line help, which they did not really address, to be honest. But I do think Joe being back is going to propel them to 8 to 9. They were on pace, I think, for like 6 or 7, or maybe 8 wins with him last year. I think they got 8 to 9 this year. Bears, same thing. Justin Fields, I like him better than any of the quarterbacks they've had recently. Maybe Darnell Mooney will get to burn Ramsey and get the actual stats for it, instead of all his quarterback just missing him on all the deep threats. Like Darnell Mooney's a very skilled route runner, especially on the deep ball. It's just he needs a deep ball thrower like Justin Fields. And Allen Robinson obviously going to thrive. Dave Montgomery coming out of the woodwork. I think that the defense could solidify again. They've been a little the last 2 years, but I think they can get back to that 3 year ago pace. Next, we got the Broncos without Aaron Rodgers. Thank you very much. He will be staying on my Packers. Um, this one's tough for me. I'm gonna go 6 to 7 just because I have to have some teams down here. That's just how math works. Um, I think they're very skilled. I think that defense. Oh, man, I really want to put them at 8 to 9, guys. I just want to say that right now. I really want to put them at 8 to 9. The defense is very good, very underrated, especially with they just drafted Patrick Surtain. They got Von Miller back, like Bradley Chubb, the safety Simmons. Like they've, guys. I know at the end of the season they're gonna have at least 8 wins. I just know it's gonna be on there. I don't know how they're gonna do it, but it's gonna get there. Yes, the QB situation is pretty awful with Locke, but everything else is really good for them. So I'll give them 8 wins. Browns also 10 to 11. I want to give them 12 to 13, but I can't say they're better than the Ravens. I can't say that. I cannot say that. It's gonna be tough matches against them and the Steelers and even the Bengals and other teams. I'm gonna give them probably 11-6. I think the division kind of cannibalizes itself. The same with the San Fran division. These are the two toughest divisions in the whole NFL. Browns with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt and even OBJ back. Like this is a very talented offense, the best O-line in the league for at least run game. Yeah, they're gonna do work. They're a good team. They'll be in the playoffs. 11-6. Buccaneers 12 to 13. I don't actually have them with 14 plus wins. I don't. think they're a regular season team. Yes, I know last year they went undefeated. I think it was the last 7 regular season games, if I'm not mistaken. Of course, they're gonna have they were having a slow start because it was new to Brady and new to everybody, and then they just went undefeated. I do think the Saints aren't going to be as bad as everyone thinks, and it just seems like the only thing that makes me want to put them at 14 is the 17th game this year, but I'm still not going to do that. I don't think they get above 13 wins. Um, Something's just telling me this. I don't know how to explain it, but something's just telling me that. Same with the Bills. I think they get close to 13 wins. I think Diggs and Allen have that connection still. Run game still going to be trash. Can't deny that. But they have some mediocre to solid defense with a good overpowered offense. But I don't think they're as good as the top teams. So next we got the Cardinals. 8 to 9 wins. I think they get to 8, maybe 9. That division once again very very hard. They picked up J.J. Watt, picked up some other really good players. This roster wise probably top 5 in the league. They have some absolute studs. They got AJ Green. They got D Hop. They just got everybody. They drafted was it Rondale Moore, the speedy rookie. They got a lot going for them. I really like them. It's just I can't say 10 to 11 just because San Fran, the Rams, and I think Seattle might be better. I think the Rams and 49ers are. I'm not sure about Seattle. They're about equal. Our first 14-win team, the Chiefs. I made a video about them the other day, addressing some of my concerns. I think they patched up the O-line quite well, but every single player on that O-line was not playing last year on that O-line, whether it be not starters or from a new team or injury or whatnot, or holding out. They were not there last year. So chemistry through the first 6 weeks is going to be an issue for that offensive line. The run game probably will not exist again this year, but it's the Chiefs. They'll fix it. They'll get it all sorted out. First 14-win team. Colts. I think they're right on par with the Tennessee Titans, man. I think that their run game is second to maybe only the 49ers and the Ravens. Just the way they can use Jonathan Taylor and now Marlon Mack's coming back. Naeem Hines is there. To be able to have someone like Carson Wentz, who, yes, struggled last year, but is actually able to throw a nice deep ball, unlike Phillip Rivers, it's going to open up this whole offense. Michael Pittman's going to get some looks. T.Y. Hilton's going to have, hopefully, a rejuvenating year. I don't think that this is a team to be overlooked. They have one of the best O-lines. Remember 2-3 years ago, guys, we were saying this is a Super Bowl contender until Andrew Luck said, fuck this, I'm out. I think Carson Wentz is... Honestly, if we look back like 2-3 years, we've been comparing Carson Wentz to Andrew Luck his whole career. So I do think this is a rejuvenation year. I wouldn't be surprised if they go 12-5. I really wouldn't. But I think playing the Titans, getting some tough games in, I think they'll get 11-6. Dallas. Another 8-9 win team. I would like to put them higher. I hate Dallas, but I would like to put them higher just because their offense is so insane. But we saw throughout the first 5 games of last year, even when Dak was there, it was always playing catch up. They were just so bad on defense. Trayvon Diggs is an absolute trash can, and I can't believe people are happy he's there. They're going to get burned in the secondary again. They've made no significant pickups in my eyes. Anyways, Dolphins. Man, we're gonna have so many 8-9 win teams. I'm gonna have to bring some down. This is ridiculous. This is actually ridiculous. Man, they're just receiving core. Devontae Parker, Will Fuller, and Jalen Waddle, and Mike Gesicki. Man, dude, Tua. I'm sorry, but if you can't just pull a Drew Brees and do dink and dunks to 5K yards, like, I'm sorry, but you should not be in the NFL. Like this team is just too stacked. Your defense and coaching as well are very good. The only part I would maybe be a little skeptical of is that O-line, but in the run game, Myles Gaskin isn't exactly a stud. He's decent. He's not a stud, though. Yeah, you got it all, Tua. You got to show us what you got. I don't think you're going to get more than 9 wins. I think it's probably 8, to be fair. Eagles. Man, I really wouldn't put them at 8, but I think this will be our first 6-7 win team. I think they go 7. I think this division's still an easy one. But I think they'll have some, I say it's an easy division, but for them, it'll be tough to play Dallas and New York. I think they'll trade some wins here and there with them. I think Jalen Hurts is going to win the starting job. I think they have some decent weapons. Nothing great. They got Devontae Smith, but what's his name? Jalen Reagor wasn't anything special last year. I know he was injured, but if you look at, I think it's Pat Harmon's reception perception. He was talking about how Jalen Reagor pretty much was like one of the worst route runners in the league against man, zone, press, anything. So that's never good, obviously. I think Zach Ertz is going to get traded as well. Not that great. Falcons, actually, we're going to put them at 4-5. I did this list before, but that was with Julio there, so we're doing it. I do think that the Falcons are pretty terrible. We know this from last year. They always have such a stud offense, but just suck so bad on defense that they never get wins. And now this year, without Julio, they don't have a stud offense. They have an all right offense with Calvin Ridley and Kyle Pitts. All right, guys. Next up is the New York Giants. This is Richie, my co-host's favorite team. Obviously, I think they're going to split the games with the Eagles. I think maybe split the games with Dallas. Maybe go into there. I think they do beat the Washington football team out. Um, Defense came on strong at the end of the year. Now they got Galladay. Saquon's back. Every year, man, this roster on paper looks gorgeous, especially now that the defense stepped up last year. I could see 8 to 9 wins, but I'm just gonna say this. It's maybe my own bias, but every time I get on the New York train, I'm like, here we go. They're about to smack people. They freaking suck. Some injuries happen. Something happens. They suck. So 6-7. I wouldn't be surprised if they do better, to be honest. But in that tight division, I know tight is a strong word for that trash division, but like in my opinion, talent-wise, they're very similar teams. I think 6-7 is a pretty good spot for them. The Jags are the first 0-3. Just kidding. No, they're not. They're 4-5. I think Trevor Lawrence, DJ Chark, Marvin Jones, not really Laviska Shenault, but Travis Etienne and James Robinson are going to be a nice little offense there. I think Trevor's going to lead them to some wins. He's never actually lost a football game in his life. He's going to lose a lot this season, but I think he's got that winner aspect to him. Like, obviously, this team's not going to be like 8-9 or anything, or 10-7. They're going to be 4-5, maybe 6-7, maybe 0-3. But I'm gonna put them in the median there. I think that the defense is still pretty subpar. I don't know what happened to them over the last 4 years, but they've just gone from the best to the freaking worst. Hopefully, they'll try a little harder this year. Like they tanked, they did their thing, they got the first overall pick. Now it's time to rebuild and shine. Next up, we got the Detroit Lions. This is the first 0-3 team. I mean, man, what do they have? They have Jared Goff. They have DeAndre Swift. That is it. T.J. Hockenson. Just so you guys know, don't draft Swift or Hockenson. This team is never going to be near the red zone. It's just, you want to be on good offenses for fantasy players. This, just stay away from. I think this team is so bad. I think they'll play teams relatively tough. They want to be a grinder. They want to be a slow-paced team. They want to get the games done with as fast as possible because they know they got outscored by basically any team in the league. I think it's just on paper, very clearly the worst roster in the league. Next up, we got the LA Chargers, man. I'm doing it. 10-11. I think last year, Anthony Lynn really screwed them over, dude. They had so many games where they would be way ahead, and then he'd be like, all right, run the ball into the ground, and eventually they'd be like, oh, now we're 2 scores ahead, now we're 1 score ahead, now we're all of a sudden 3 points behind. What the hell's happening? And it's because Anthony Lynn does the exact opposite of the Chiefs and Andy Reid. Andy Reid's like, okay, we're up by 21 because we passed all over this team. Why start running it now? No, keep passing it with Justin Herbert, with Keenan Allen, with Mike Williams, with Austin Eckler. Like, this team is disgusting throughout the air. They're not a run-first team. Don't run Kalen Ballage at the line like you did last year, or fat Josh Kelly. Come on, guys. Throw the ball. You have a top 5 quarterback in the future, I believe. Justin Herbert has the talent to be top 5 for sure. I don't know what they're doing now that they have a new head coach. We're gonna hope. I'm going to pray. I think this team is in a tough division, though, with the Broncos and the Chiefs, and even the Raiders, to be honest. But I think the talent wins out here. Their defense, getting Derwin James back, is very impactful. I just have a lot of hope for this team. They remember 2 years ago, 3 years ago, when they were playing the Chiefs. I believe it was either the playoffs or week 17 or something. They were 12-5 or 12-4 or something. I forget the record, but they were a very good roster. I think Justin's an upgrade from Phillip, and that's about the only change there's been. So, yeah. Next, the Rams. I think the Rams are very good. I think they're on par with the 49ers, maybe slightly behind, just a little less upside in my opinion. But Matthew Stafford coming over, that is so huge. Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp are going to have a good year. That defense, obviously, with Jalen and Aaron Donald is disgusting. The Packers got a good beating on them in the playoffs last year, but I don't think many teams can do that other than the Packers and the Chiefs and maybe the Bills and Tampa. Jets. I'm sorry, Zach Wilson, but you just got thrown into an absolute fire, man. There is nothing for you here. It's Corey Davis. I mean, cool, whatever, but rookie running back, I think his name's Michael Carter. This just is not. It's not a good situation to be in. The Jets are losers. I'm sorry, Jets fans out there. You guys are losers. You don't have any hope. I saw something today that you guys have a top 6 D line. Okay, that's cool, but if you can't score at all, you're gonna lose. So that's just that. You're done. Packers. I got to do it. I'm biased, I know, but I've thought about this for a while, and we do have, I think, arguably the toughest schedule upcoming this year. It's at least top 3. We're playing the whole Steelers division, but something tells me Aaron's gonna come. Aaron is gonna come back. I already know this. I've never been really worried, but something tells me, man, you're not stopping Devontae this year, and you're not stopping Aaron Jones. This offense is just going to be next level with Devin Funch just coming back, Alan Lazard, Marcus Scantling, hopefully perfecting his deep ball. Like that man is, I think, a top 5 deep route runner in the league. If you looked at the stats for it, I think he had the most 20-yard downfield catches along with Tyreek Hill. He's very good at it. He just drops some stuff. So if he can fix his hands, we're a 14-win team. Our defense is about middle of the road. If we can keep the pressure on like we did 2 years ago with the Smith Bros and now Rashawn Gary, I believe that we have a good shot at this. So the Panthers. I have to do this for the sake of balance because I want to put them at 8 to 9 wins. I really do, guys. You know what? We're making a switch. We're making a switch. I'm putting Dolphins down to 6 and 7. I'm putting Panthers up here. I think with CMC coming back, some good coaching, Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore, and now Sam Darnold, who I think is miles better than Teddy Bridgewater. I made a video about it about a week back. Go look at it. I think this offense is actually one of the better ones in the league. You got to look at it on paper. A solid O-line with a receiving core of Robbie Anderson and DJ Moore, and the best running back in the league, and a solid quarterback. How could you not like that? And a solid overlooked defense, if I may add. Patriots. I think this is why I'm putting Dolphins down here. Something's telling me, dude. Cam last year, without Hunter Henry, without Jonnu, without Nelson Aguilar, without Kendrick Bourne. Kendrick doesn't really mean shit. He's pretty bad. But the others are pretty good. We saw Nelson Aguilar is a good deep threat. We need that on the Patriots to open up the top. Then you got two good slant runners in Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith. Jonnu Smith is a freak athlete. If you guys don't know, his 40 time is like insane for a tight end. He's basically George Kittle without the blocking and route running talent. The defense, obviously, coached by Bill Belichick, I think is going to be fine this year. I think it's going to be another top 10 unit. They always have a top 10 unit. Raiders, man, I want to put them at 8 to 9 because they always finish at this range. They always do. But for this year, I'm going to say 6 to 7. That loss of Aguilar really hurts. And I mean, they got Kenny and Drake, but they didn't use Ruggs well. And in this division, I think the Broncos are a better overall team. And I think the Chargers and Chiefs are obviously better overall teams. I think they're going to have they're probably going to go like 1 and 5 in their division. And that's not a recipe for 8 to 9 wins. I just got to be honest. I like the Raiders, but defense has always been horrible, never creates turnovers. And their offense seems, without Aguilar, I know they got Henry Ruggs, but they didn't use him well last year, man. Waller's going to be Waller, but I just don't see them winning games. Washington football team. 4 to 5. Fitz is cool. I love Fitz. He's one of my favorite quarterbacks ever. Terry McLaurin's a beast, but you got to take this seriously. They have a good D-line, but man, I really want to put them at 6 to 7, guys. I really do. I'm going to do it. I think that D-line is enough for them to squeak out like a win against the Giants, a win against each of the. I think they could go 3 and 3 in the division. Let's say that, and they get 3 wins against some other scrub teams. Saints, man, I think Saints are a 10 to 11 win team at least. I know you guys hate Jameis and I hate Taysom. I do hate Taysom as well because he steals all my Kamara fantasy points. But we saw what James could do with the Bucks. But yes, he turned over the ball a lot. Yes, we all know that. He had the eye surgery. He's been sitting behind Breeze for a year. I think this was a very talented player. Like, he was the first overall pick, and I forget what draft year it was, probably 2015 or something like that. But he was very talented, and I as we saw, there's 8 quarterbacks that have broken into 5,000 yards, and he's one of them. I know it's out of place, but he has some upside. With Michael Thomas, he's going to rejuvenate Michael Thomas. Alvin Kamara will probably be fine in this offense. He'll get his touchdowns. He'll get his work. The Saints are one of the best coached teams in the league, I got to say it. I think they'll get 10 to 11. Seahawks, I'm going to put them in the same boat as the Cardinals. I think they get 9 wins here. I think they're probably about half a win better than the Cardinals, in my opinion. DK, Lockett, Russ, obviously great team. The O-line still, defense did come together very well at the end of last year. Last year at the beginning of the year, they were the team you wanted to play against. Remember, they let Cam Newton throw for almost 400 yards? Yeah, they were terrible. But I just got to say it. I think they're good, but their division is too tough for them to get any more than 9 wins. Steelers, you guys are going to hate me. You're going to really hate me. But I'm not on this bandwagon hating on the Steelers. Go check out my video about a week ago, Deontay Johnson on the thumbnail. I think that they have one of the most talented rosters in the league. They only lost Bud Dupree. Their defense is still, in my eyes, remember last year, they were the #1 defense, guys, through most of the year. They're a top 3 defense still. I can't believe some people are ranking them outside the top 12. That doesn't even make any sense. This defense, in the regular season, this is a regular season defense that gets all the pressure on the quarterback. Yes, against the people like Brady and Mahomes in the playoffs, pressure isn't necessarily the end all be all. They're going to find ways around it. But against these scrubbier teams in the regular season, pressure's all you need. That offense, 3 stud receivers, Big Ben coming back another year removed from that injury, that Tommy John surgery. I think he's going to be back to his old form. I know he's getting older, but I think the extra year removed from the injury outweighs him being older. And also they got Najee Harris. The O-line is slightly improved. I like this team. Even though it's a tough division, boys, I know, tough division, but I think they're slightly better than the Ravens and the Browns. Next up, Texans. They're our last 0-3 team, last team overall. Deshaun Watson, I think, will probably play, but this team, man, they lost everybody. This team is in, I can't even say rebuilding phase. It's like just, they're still at the phase of get rid of everybody. Deshaun doesn't want to play, like, he's also got all the sex charges against them, and it's pretty much Cooks against the world. Like, they have left Cooks alone with nobody else. The O-line sucks, the defense sucks, receiving core, running backs, everything terrible. They're finishing probably close to 0 wins. So, guys, this is the completed tier list of all the NFL teams. If you guys don't agree, obviously let me know in the comments. I'm sure I pissed off a lot of people. But yeah, if you guys liked, hit the like button, comment down below, hit the subscribe button. We just hit 100 subs, boys. Let's go. We started this a month and a half ago, me and Richie, and this is better than I ever thought it would be. We're at 12K viewers. We're at 100 subs. Hit the post noties so you can stay tuned for everything. We're building this empire up, boys, before the fantasy season starts. I like to get to maybe a K or maybe 2K before the fantasy season starts. I'm going to pump out these videos every single day. So is Richie. Let us know what you want to see, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
Can never ever find the right words, and there's no way this is real life. There's no telling you're the right girl, so I can only say that it feels right.